Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. Today we're watching another ladder game, this time on Open Palms. In the top left we have Dreamself, also known as TZ, also known as Mr. Aesthetic. In the blue, playing Cybern, as he always does. And in the bottom right we have Vodkastano, also known as Mad Mozart, playing Cybern as he normally does. And obviously both going first land. Haven't seen someone go first air here since Tag Rock. Saw Tag Rock do a third, I think it was third bomber or fourth bomber out of a first air factory, as Seraphim of course, and pretty much wrecked his opponent. And I remember Nubfighter Ice used to do first bomber as Cyber on this map. No one does that shit now. So let's see what they do. So this is a popular build order. You basically use all your build power to build 3 P-gens and obviously the 4 maxes, and then they all walk down in unison and continue building around the Hydro. After finishing the Hydro, Mozart doing something a bit different. He's only grabbed 2 P-gens. He didn't wait to send his engineers to the Hydro, sent them early. He also built his land factory without adjacency, which it's not the most common, but it does mean his NG is going to be a bit closer to the Hydro and he'll get that slightly faster. Not sure it's worth it, but that's what Mozart has decided to do. So, second air, yep, of course. Mozart doesn't go second air as often as some people who go second air 100% of the time. He likes to do later air, third air, fourth air, fifth air sometimes, to really take advantage of some people who like to build lots of inties and no bombers. You know who you are. Okay, let's see. See how these players are expanding. So we got a Mantis going to here. Oh, he spotted a couple of units here. Oh, and then that's probably a scout here. So early land scouts are just absolutely vital. Oh, he needs to be aggressive and just, yeah, don't give an attack order though, give a move order. Now he got into range and then he just gets out of range again, so don't give attack orders. Oh, that's unfortunate. Now he's lost his radar. But it looks like he still wins the fight. His Mantis are grouped quite well. But there, when he turned, his Mantis stopped shooting momentarily, and so he ended up losing one. So early on, you want to use land scouts to spot any raids that are incoming, and then if necessary also use air scouts. But air scouts normally should be used for spotting for your raids, for your offensive raids, because obviously your land scouts are not so effective in that area. That also makes it very valuable to kill your opponent's air scouts. Also, an early radar is not a bad idea. 2 early radars, but it is a bit expensive, so if you can get by on just land scouts to defend your raids, then that's pretty good and a bit more efficient. this pocket of no radar is kind of annoying to deal with. So he has 5 mantis here, and he keeps getting glimpses of what's here, and it's basically the same as his force, so it's kind of dangerous. But Mozart can't actually break through. Now, one interesting decision is, first you can see Mozart has sent more engineers expanding. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. They're expanding faster than aesthetics, so these guys are mirrors and this guy is a bit faster. Aesthetic does have these faster, but overall he's gonna get the 2 4-base 4-mex expansions slower. Also the back base he will grab slower, so that's an advantage for Mozart. But right now we can see Mozart's problem is energy. He does not have enough. He started his power spam actually quite late, and is even adding pigeons with his factory building engineers. So yeah, these 2 radars that are kind of hurting him now. That's minus 40 power. That would really help him out if he didn't have these radars up. So really, one thing I should have mentioned earlier was that Mozart sent his ACU to the left when, 90% of games you'll see ACUs going to opposite sides. Usually they move vertically from their base. So basically, a common strategy is to walk up here, take a couple of maxes, and then just rush across the other side of the map, knowing that the enemy ACU is probably over here, and if you just walk here 5 minutes in, then there's nothing your opponent can actually do to stop him, unless he has stop the commander, unless he has a PD in the relevant position. Let's just take a break from that to see this mantis running into the base. It's not the first time I've seen people just run mantis into a base while I'm doing these casts, and I'm wondering when people thought this was a good idea. So let's see how much power he can kill. That's really the best target here. Now, what he should do when targeting power is not target them all sequentially. He should target, for example, if these 6 are alive, he should target this one, then finish off this one and this one, which will be damaged. Then he can attack this one and then finish off the other 2, which are damaged. So basically when they die, they will do damage to the adjacent ones. So if you attack just in an order like this, then you won't actually maximize your damage. So it's a minor thing, but it can help you kill a few more pigeons. And pigeons are not cheap, and as we already saw, Mozart desperately needs this power. So really what he should have done actually was kill this Hydro first, and then move on to attack more pigeons. So you can see 1600 HP for 100 power, 600 HP for 20 power. So the Hydra is just a better target. That is one of the prices you pay for having this very cheap and efficient source of power, is that it does have less HP for how much power it gives you. So it's a nice target for T1 units. Now Vakastano has basically no units on this side. He's being very greedy, so he realizes that he has no support on this side for his ACU. He's gonna throw down PDs to defend the Hydro, which he really desperately needs to defend. This is a very easy target for raids, a very juicy target. You should definitely aim for expansion Hydros on this map if your opponent has them up. So 2 BDs should be enough to maybe not stop any attacks, but to slow them down enough that more units can reinforce and defend the assault. Transport out for Mr. Aesthetic. I guess he wants to drop one of the sides. He'll probably drop some units, maybe with an NG. So now we can see T2 land as well, and he's making Wagners. I'm not sure why he's making Wagners, to be honest. Rhinos are far, far better against T1, and this map is completely flat, so Rhinos don't... Well, it's not completely flat, but pretty much. And Rhinos... So Rhinos won't be missing very much, if at all, by shooting into the ground. And they do much better against T1 than Wagners do. So we can see that really Aesthetic just has an advantage at the minute, and this drop is gonna land and it can do some damage. I don't know if he can actually kill the factory on this plateau, which is what you would ultimately need to do to be able to take it over, but he is leaving it idle. Another run by and the entire army retreats. I don't think... Yeah, he realized that there's no point in bringing this army back. He has enough here to actually stop this. He does... Yeah, he did have a radar here. That's why there's no coverage now in this area. Another Hydro going up. He needs to move down here to make sure he cuts this off. But worst comes to worst, he'll have to throw up some emergency PD down here. He should nevertheless be able to deal with it, whether he cuts it out or it gets down to here. But for Mozart, we've had T2 land for a while now from Mr. Aesthetic, but we still have T1 from Mozart. He's just spamming a lot of T1. Also has one T2 mechs and one is upgrading. Aesthetic, I should have mentioned he actually upgraded all these 4 factories at once, which was... Well, it's obviously risky because you can see how few units he has now. He has far less T1 units because he stopped his T1 unit production so fast. But the risk has almost passed. The danger is almost passed. And actually we see he is making Rhinos as well as Wagners. So this decision to upgrade 4 factories at once, if it comes off, will give you an advantage. You will have more T2 units than you would have otherwise. And it looks like he is gonna try to take this plateau. He didn't actually find this factory, so it's not gonna be so easy. He should really have realized that he didn't see a factory, and he should have went looking for this one. So that's usually where they go. You build the 2 mechs and then you edge build a factory with the same engine straight after. This Hydro never gets built, and this T1 army is gonna die pretty quick. Another Hydro. I'm not sure why they formed this concave when there's... Was there something here, maybe? I don't know. These 2 Mantis are doing all the heavy lifting. And there goes that Hydro. And now T2 and T1 land push on the right hand side from Aesthetic. 3 PDs, 4, 5 PDs. So this is really, he just can't really break through here. Take him so long to actually take down all the point defense that the defender's advantage would just basically increase too much, and there would be, he could just send any reinforcements to the side. Mozart shouldn't push here. He doesn't have units to deal with this. He should just sit with his PD. Oh, that was a big overcharge. I just barely missed there. Looks like Mozart was going for the kill, or at least just wanted to do a lot of damage to that ACU. Sometimes just damaging the ACU is a good decision. I mean, he couldn't actually do anything with those units. They couldn't get past really because the ACU was there and there's PDs and then T2 units reinforcing. But I think he used the Shift G and he just got overcharged and lost quite a lot of units. We can see now the ACU goes home, so that's a bit of a win there to not have an ACU defending anywhere, because Aesthetic is a bit too afraid to use him now that he's low HP. Now we see 3 mechs going to T2. Oh, but on the other side, Aesthetic has already got them to T2 and is building storages. So this is kind of a weird game, because we're just saying, oh, see T3 now. Loys are out. So we're just saying T2 spam versus T3 spam, or versus T1 spam I should say. And now we also see T3 from Mozart. So overall, definitely an advantage I think for Aesthetic. I think he has more eco. Actually, let's use this. Is this accurate? Yeah, that's actually correct. Nice. So he does have more income, and now we have T3, T2 and T1 push, and there's stealth in there as well. It's a nice move, but Loyalists are here to defend this. This T1 army is, yeah, it's just dead. What can it do versus rhinos, hoplites? Up here, more T1 cannon fodder. But this many point defense is actually quite a good deterrent to Loyalists. So I believe Loyalists have the same range as a PD. Let me just check the ranges. 25 range, yeah. T1 PD has 26 range, I believe. Does it say here? Yeah, 26 range. Now we have, oh, stealth Loyalists. So the Air Force is brought over to give some vision. But it is going to run past, and this is the place that's in most danger from these Loyalists. He actually hasn't attacked these mexes. I mean, you could easily just, I mean, you just make some arty and you kill a couple of these mexes. And then if you want, you can make some MMLs and deny this forever. So then Loyalists continue running away from the chasing Loyalists and head for these T2 mexes. Also T2 mechs here that can be raided pretty easily. But what we're seeing is just pure Loyalist spam. No breaks. Seen, we don't even see flak, and there's a couple of flaks out. And now he runs in with this army and snipes T2 Gen and then just leaves. That's a great move. It's obviously complete bullshit that Loyalists can just run the fuck in here and snipe this and get away with no casualties. But also that P-Gen shouldn't really be at the front of the base. So T3 NG coming out. I'm not sure what plan for this guy is. Maybe T3 P-Gen. So at the back, this got cleaned up. Didn't actually lose too much. Didn't lose any of the mexes. He lost like these two mexes. He lost these two mexes. Well, actually, he just loses these mexes to units on the cliff. He did have to pull back 6 Loyalists to deal with it, which ultimately meant he didn't have Loyalists on the front to deal with the push here. So perhaps we can attribute some of this damage to this Loyalist raid. So Mozart seems to be falling further behind. He's not getting in behind his opponent. Hasn't really for most of the game, and it's quite vital to do that usually on open palms. More Loyalist fights. Oh, this Loyalist spam. And this is now breaking through. He has enough Loyalists that he just vaporizes T1 PDs now. They just have too much damage. I think walls may have been required here quite desperately. When you have these super fast units like Loyalists, let me just show you the speed. 4 speed. As a reference, Mantis 3.7, Lab 4 as well. So they're really fast. So yeah, when you have these super fast units at T3, you really want to build walls. Obviously you can't really do that versus Harbs because they just reclaim the walls, which is lovely. But Loyalists have no such ability, thank fuck. They do have several other abilities, of course, but not this one. Not the ability to reclaim walls. So walls and PD and T1 PD are quite effective. Walls and T1 PD and maybe some T2 PD. That's pretty good, or maybe just walls. So this pure Loyalist spam by both players is making me quite sad. Because the thing about Loyalist spam is that, well, it makes unit positioning less important at the T3 stage because you have super fast units. Now, if you're in a mirror matchup but you're both spamming Loyalists, then, well, it's still quite important because they have the ability to punish you if you're out of position because they have those super fast units. So you're kind of forced into spamming Loyas if they go for Loyas because it's quite difficult to react to some Loyalist moves with bricks unless you have quite a few transports to use and the APM to make use of them. It's also more difficult to use bricks at the early stage because you have to place them very carefully. When you commit to a push, then you really are committed. You can't retreat very quickly, and in the early stage you need to use transports to get them to where they need to be if you go for bricks as the first few units out of your T3 factory. So Loyalists are just easier to use really than bricks. or Percys, or Othams. So this push is a complete failure by Aesthetic. Pushed in here, did ultimately no damage, dropped a lot of reclaim. He retreated and didn't lose all his units, but this was not a good move. There's only T1 mexes here, and you think +2 mass per tick. And let's say there's these 6 that he could possibly have killed. He actually didn't kill any of them. And he's left like several thousand in mass reclaim. I don't know how long these mexes would have to be running to produce as much mass as he just dumped right next to them. But a huge score advantage for Aesthetic now, and he's making, see, he has a T3 P-Gen. He doesn't have Ras. He really should have Ras. There's not really any reason to make 2 T2 P-Gens before you even make Ras, unless you really want stealth on your ACU, but he doesn't actually have stealth on his ACU. But probably seen this already, but I should mention it, seeing as I'm casting the fucking game. He has a spider bot on the way, and I'm sure Mozart has seen that. No, he hasn't. Mozart still has not scouted his opponent since he's gone T2, since he's gone T3. So he doesn't know. This is really a problem. You don't know what your opponent's eco is. Actually, he sees that these are T3 mexes, but he doesn't know what's back here. Another push fails into this position. I'm not sure why he's chosen this position to attack into. This is basically the closest point to Mozart's production, barring running through mid. I mean, if he attacks this side, I mean, it's much further. Now, of course, they're loyalists, so they cover that distance very quickly, but really, this is not really a good spot to attack. And just moving in and then retreating, I mean, it's really bad. He's basically paying for Mozart's Monkey Lord. I mean, if he doesn't attack, that's another reason he shouldn't attack. I mean, he has a spider bot coming, so why push in, waste units, drop a reclaim, which Mozart will now use to build his own spider bot, when you can just hold, bide your time, switch to bricks. You know, at this time you can definitely switch to bricks, and we do see some bricks coming out, because you're not, Loyalists are an offensive unit. If you're not making use of their speed, then they're not really worth it, unless you're also abusing the shit out of their stun to kill some XP or something like that. Then really, you don't want to use them if you're not going to be running across the map to your opponent's side. Bricks are much better for just sitting on your side, defending any pushes, and then when you have an advantage, then you push out and make use of their power. So we have spider bots look like they're going to face off on this side. That's where most of the action is taking place. Mozart is now already sucked up all this reclaim, and he's building a Soul Ripper. We look over here, and a second spider is on the way for aesthetic. T3 Mex is in the back, T3 Mex is in the base, T3 Mex around these factories, T3 Mex here, This one is going T3, this one is going T3 at the same time, so when you start seeing people upgrade two mexes to T3 at once, and you know that they really feel that they're quite far ahead when they're not on some ridiculous high mass map, of course, which this isn't. Also see Corsairs coming out at the back, and T3 Air, see ASFs. So more Loyalists on Loyalist fight, but there's some bricks in here as well. Mozarts aren't really grouped very well. They're kind of streaming in a little bit. And now this Monkey Lord is quite far forward. You can see you actually can kill some stuff with these bolters. I mean, look, the damage isn't great, but you can use it to pick away from range. If you feel you can't push in, then you might as well use this weapon. But now, yeah, you can see that once it's not looking at the Loyalists are extremely effective. But really, he could have abused stun far more on this Monkey Lord. But when the Monkey Lord was actually attacking the Loyalist, you can see it just vaporized them in probably under a second. I think it's like 4k DPS. So less than a second to kill Loyalists, and barely had to move the laser to shoot the next target. So it's extremely effective versus these grouped Loyalists. AoE on this Soul Ripper is also going to be really effective. He needs to just make sure he attacks the center of the group, because the AoE is really large. Yeah, you can see him microing there. He will kill a lot of reclaim, unfortunately, but he's also going to get a lot of vet. He's already on his first vet level. We see tons of Sams in a row. Not really the best way to build them, but with that many, the Soul Ripper isn't gonna be able to take them out anyway. So Soul Ripper pushes out. So we can see TZ Dreamself he's really far ahead now on eco. These still aren't T3. Does have T3 core mexes in the base, but it's far less T2 mexes and T3 mexes. But he does have a Soul Ripper, and Soul Rippers can win games on their own. He's actually building a second one now, and he's reclaiming this Scathus. Yeah, I think Scathus is not a good idea. When your opponent is making two Soul Rippers, I don't see the point of making a Scathus. You just need to make sure you don't die to these Soul Rippers first. And if you make a Scathus, you will not have any power to produce air. So he's making another spider bot. Okay. And he's making... yeah, so he's gonna make his direct fire unit make a spider for his direct fire unit, and use the factories to make some mobile anti-airs. So ASF are still fighting here, but they're not going to be able to kill this just yet. Oh. Yeah, those antis are just dying. So problem is that Focus is really far behind, and this Soul Ripper hasn't done really much damage at all. He obviously can't attack this base in any way, pretty much. But he has two Soul Rippers now. I think he can... well, I think it's really over anyway, whatever he does. Because he has to defend this. He has to try get this reclaim. So there goes some Loyalists dying very quickly to this. But he has to also do damage to TZ's eco somehow. Unfortunately, he has no T3 air, So he has basically no defense versus these ASF. He can only really use these Soul Rippers to defend, and actually it's going to be difficult to even use them to defend because he doesn't have enough SAMs in the base. Well, now he has 4 up, that's pretty good. But before he didn't have enough SAMs to even retreat to with the Soul Rippers. I mean, you'd think if he can get around and kill, see there's no SAMs in this position or here or at the back, if he could actually kill those, then he could have some chance, but there's too many ASF now and no SF for him, so I think it's not possible. Lost this left side now. They were all T1 mexes though anyway, except this one which is T2. Still no T3 mexes in the back. I think these bricks will just clear up everything. I really expected there to be more ASF. Also, he shouldn't continuously send in small groups of ASF, I think. He's gonna lose some more to anti-air. Should just wait, put more production on ASF, because once he kills these, then the game is essentially over. Building a mega. Mega is complete. He did suck up both these Spider Rex. So we have a mega versus 2 spiders, and actually Loyalists are really good against megas, assuming you have enough Loyas, of course, which you should if your opponent has a mega. You can now this is actually good positioning, because this is obviously very difficult for the Loyas to get up here and not get raped by the mega through this choke. But if the mega is out here, it can get surrounded. The Loyas can get under it quite fast, and then you just control K a Loya under the mega, prevent it from retreating, and then your spider can come in and just get its DPS away onto the mega. So try it out. Make your friends hate you. It's a lot of fun. This mega's done. So this mega, well, this mega is working on taking down these shields. There goes the Omni. But really all that could possibly hide is these Soul Rippers, but the Soul Rippers are already under attack. Oh, he really needed to scout. He was almost in range of the ACU there. If he had just YOLO'd and gone for the ACU, if he had known the ACU was there, and this could have been really bad. He could have actually stole the win. But now we see 2 spiders in range of a mega, and a mega in range of a mega, so it's just not happening. Here's another mega almost done as this Soul Ripper gets sucked up. Mozart playing a great survival game at the minute. He's somehow still alive. These forward SAMs are actually really nice. Still sucking. There's so much reclaim. He actually doesn't have enough mass storage really. He's now okay. Another Soul Ripper coming up. This guy with full vet, 50 per second HP regen, 135k total health. Let's see what Aesthetic is doing. Making a Scathis. Okay, He really needs to just end the game. I think if he just kept making bricks, he would end the game easily. If he just kept making Loyalists, he would. But like, he doesn't really have much D3 at the minute. 26 T3 land units. He didn't really add any more factories after his initial ones. He's just been putting that mass into, well, T2 mexes all over the place, and then XPs and some SAMs. Still making T1 air, but it looks a bit not the best move. He should yeah, he's making mobile anti-air with this crab. He should really throw down an egg on this mega wreck and suck it up. This spider's gonna die for free. You can see I actually killed units around it, because it does have a death weapon, as basically every XP does. You see this volatile basically means it has a death weapon, so it does like 5 or 10k damage depending on the experimental, I believe. This Mega's just farming some shit in mid. Here comes Scathus, and this is the second Soul Ripper, isn't it? Wait, where's the... oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. Lost track of it there for a second. So... would be so cool if Megas could, like, walk up this shit. Just, you know, step over these small ledges. Okay. Second Soul Ripper is almost complete. Now the thing about Soul Ripper, and basically why they're made in 1v1, is usually they should be just used as a snipe weapon. You basically, as soon as you build it, you click on the enemy ACU and the game ends. That's pretty much how you should use them. I mean, using them for defense and stuff, that's pretty good, but if you're making a Soul Ripper to defend, I mean, it's probably not the most efficient route to take. So I think we're gonna see these Soul Rippers click on the ACU this time. There are in this area 17 SAMs, 3 ED5 fully upgraded Cybran shield gens, and the Soul Rippers are still not dead. Oh my god. He's stuck on his own units, he's stuck on the SAM, he's stuck on the anti-airs of all things. And he survives. T3 ACU, 56 per second regen. And just too many SAMs, a bit too many shields, but I mean, you can see what a Soul Ripper can do. I mean, that was 2 Soul Rippers versus 17 SAMs, tons of mobile anti-air, ASF, and they still got through these 3 fully upgraded shield gens and actually managed to even do some damage to the SU. It's just madness. Not the best positioning there to be so far forward, but you know. So that was a weird game, really. Some disgusting Loyalist spam. Some lots of XPs actually. I mean, I don't know how many XPs. Over a dozen XPs probably. So a pretty ridiculous game for open pounds, but Aesthetic had a huge advantage for a long period of time and just kind of fed mass and then just kind of chilled in his base making stuff that was not really the most effective. So, excellent play from Mozart to even survive so long and actually almost steal the win at the end with those Soul Rippers. GG.